What I like best about working at ILS is when someone invites me into their life by fully being vulnerable and courageous and helping me understand them. Because I know when that happens, I can do my best to be of help to them. So everybody wins from that. And I know it's really scary to be vulnerable with people, but I find that when somebody's willing to do that with me, and trust me enough to fully understand them, then that's when I can be the best resource that I can be to them. So that's what I like best about working for ILS. I feel a lot of honor and gratitude when somebody trusts me enough to be fully vulnerable.
What do I like best about working at ILS? That is very difficult. There are so many things I love about ILS, but one of the best things that I've come to love is that we truly care as an organization of helping others and really making a difference in this world.
One of my favorite things about working at ILS are the clients that we work with. Coming to coaching, engaging in coaching is not an easy process. Sitting one-on-one with somebody and talking about your strengths and your weaknesses and how you want to grow as a person and develop as a leader is not easy. I wholeheartedly love and appreciate sitting across from clients while they try to become more assertive, while they try to become more emotionally intelligent, while they try to become the best version of themselves. I wholeheartedly love walking that journey with our clients to become a better version of themselves.
What I like most about being here at ILS is the culture. It's not just a team culture, but it's also a family culture where everybody really cares about one another. And to me, it's just a very safe place to work. Whether I've made mistakes or have had successes, it's just a very affirming culture. It's safe.
Working for ILS has changed me so significantly. When I first came to ILS, I was extremely passive. I talked way too much. I didn't say no to anybody, which made me completely unbalanced. And I always describe it as Mach speed with my hair on fire. That's how I came into ILS. I was just like, okay, we're doing this, we're doing that. And I remember Steve Anderson saying to me, you've got to way slow down if you want to do this work. And that's what I've worked a lot on over the years. I am much more assertive now. I'm a way better listener. I'm a lot more balanced. I've learned to say no and to practice on an ongoing basis those assertiveness skills that have helped me maintain a lot more balance in my life. I know the work that we do changes people's lives in a profound way because it's changed my own life, and I believe the life of everybody who works here in that way. I'm a much better version of myself because I work at ILS.
One of the biggest changes I've seen in myself since being with ILS is my self-confidence. Over the years, I've never really believed in myself until coming to ILS. And being able to be here, I've really grown to really find myself in a place of really happiness. And for that, I'm very grateful.
I think one of the ways I've changed since being here at ILS is I've really become a better listener. Before, when somebody was talking, I would be thinking, what I was going to say as a result of what they were telling me, or I would think of an experience that I had similar to theirs that I would share with them. But just now, when someone's talking, I really just try to listen.
Through working at ILS, one of the things that I've learned, or one of the things that ILS has helped me to do, is to live an authentic life. I think that authenticity is something that we work a lot on with our clients, and being a part of the ILS culture allows me to work on that myself, so that when I'm working with clients, not only am I helping them to be more authentic, but I'm also walking the talk in my everyday life, whether that be here at ILS or even at home with my own friends and family.
One of the key things I've been able to take away so far with being at ILS is learning how important it is to work on yourself. And that is being able to really go back in your history and your development and to work out things that have really taken away from your ability to be your authentic self. And for me, that has been really paramount in my development here at ILS, is being able to really learn what has affected me in my development early on as a child that has impacted my adulthood. And being able to work through those things has really brought me to a new level of me and finding really the happiness I've been ever looking for in my life.
I think what I've learned most from working at ILS is that having real, vulnerable conversations with people really enhances relationships. I think those kinds of conversations were really, really scary to me when I first got here. And I know that although those conversations are always a risk, the upside is so huge to building relationships. I've learned that being willing to take that risk, being willing to be courageous and truly myself, that it's worth the huge reward on the other side of really, truly mutually beneficial relationships where everybody gets what they truly need.
What I've learned from working at ILS is to be less reactive. Whether before, if I was reacting out of fear or anger, even excitement or insecurity, I would just jump right in with what I wanted to say before I even had a time to think about the situation. And that's really helped me in my relationships, not just here at work, but with my husband and children and other family members. And that's been very beneficial.
My favorite memory from ILS is probably from a few years ago. We were doing a staff retreat at Yellow Springs, Ohio, and I remember we were hiking to this big waterfall, and we all kind of sat on different boulders that were around in that area, and we spent time just sharing our dreams, just talking about what we saw for the company and for ourselves in the coming years. And I remember as I was sitting there thinking, nobody's criticizing anybody's big dreams and thoughts, and people were really good about adding on their own thoughts to them. And I remember just being very grateful in that moment for where I worked and how a staff retreat went. It wasn't goofy games and it wasn't this big heavy agenda. It was really sharing and dreaming together. And since then, years later, it's really fun to see us implementing some of those things that back then seemed like such huge dreams. So that's my favorite memory.
A memory, one of my favorite memories that I have here, it's actually a funny story. My role here is a support person to the consultants, and one of the things I do is help them book speeches for various speaking events. And one of the consultants wanted to do some work in Minnesota, so I'm talking with Minnesota, a Rotary in Minnesota. It was St. Cloud, and we're going over schedules and dates and finally get settled on something. And then I don't know which one of us realized, but it was St. Cloud, Florida, not St. Cloud, Minnesota. So that was something I always think back on and laugh.